Hey, Brad. Yeah, big fake out rejection.
Absolutely.
Maybe we're finally getting that first inside bar here, increasing volume, right? So there's a decent look. Maybe space towards that like 142 area, right? Previous low of day. So you do have a bit of room here, right? Stop loss would have to be sort of this zone. So let's see if this candle can close inside bar. And then same thing, we were just waiting for that meta. See if we get an entry kind of like inside this area. Because then you're risking 30 cents. Because you're getting 3 to 1 towards low of day. And then you're getting like 5, 6 to 1 towards sort of your next profit target. So there's a really good expectation of being profitable on this trade if we take it 1,000 times, right? So let's see if this can close inside bar. Give me that perfect pullback. And then, yeah, very interested in this. Good eye. I think I maybe would have expected to see a little bit more option volume and some stuff that's more out of the money on NVIDIA. Well, it depends on what the failure, right, or why that trade didn't work out. Generally, right, if you took a loss, the next move shouldn't be for you to try to make taking a bigger loss easier, right? So I would not suggest that your next move is to wait for or to make your stop loss bigger to give yourself a bigger buffer. Because I feel like if you start behaving that way, you kind of are trying to give yourself like leeway to gamble, right? Like that kind of feels like how it gets kind of structured. Let's focus on this NVIDIA for a second. I'll be looking at the 140 puts. And I'm looking for an entry inside this 144.12 area to 144.50. Again, right, half size. Not going, full port here on anything today. That spread's a little bit nasty though. Saw 7 cents there for a sec. What I would suggest, Jesus, right, is that each trade, you need to evaluate its stop loss on its individual merits, right? So in this context, right, on this NVIDIA, we know our stop loss is 35 cents, right? So 140 puts. What's the math, right? Spot 35 times the delta, spot 331. Okay. Divided by 211. Right, you have about 7% stop loss here. So within that context, right, I don't want to give this 20% now. I want to give this 7% or 10% because that's what the position sizing is. So evaluate each trade on its own individual merits, right, and then adjust. After a losing trade, you shouldn't be looking to give yourself more of a buffer by making your risk tolerance larger. Right, if you want to reduce the hurt from a losing trade, right? Well, maybe size down your following play, right? But your gut reaction can't be that you have to fight back and make back your P&L from that trade, right? Because then you end up chasing the outcome, not the process. I want you to be very, very careful with compromising your rules after a positive decision or a negative decision, right? Or positive outcome, negative outcome. Okay, so still interested here, right? Still watching this NVIDIA. Right, nothing's been invalidated yet. So if I can get a really strong pullback here, good reaction to my zone, I will definitely be interested, right? I'm going to enter in this area, right? So the better price I can get, the closer I can get to that stop loss, the better. Now we want to see, right, what this reaction is inside here. But watching closely, right? So I'm going to be looking for an entry here in a second. All right, guys, I am in. Average price 213. Average price 213 on these NVIDIA 140 puts. All right, so let's see if this thing can now break down. Give me some easy follow through. Nice, Jason. Hopefully this thing pans out for us. Spread's a bit annoying, though. Makes sense now. It's a bit bigger than I'd like to see. Okay, looking good here so far on NVIDIA. Let's see if this thing can now break down. Looking real good though, right? Looking real good. So I'm going to take a little bit off here, maybe 225-ish. Right, 225 is going to be my first profit target. And I'll take off about 1/5 of my position. So just watching that like a hawk here, right? See if we can get it. Couple cents away. Okay, gonna take some off here, guys. Trying to get it filled at the mid. Taking off 1/4 of my position. There we go, guys. Locked in some profit at that 225. Let's go. Stop loss now on my remainder is going to be at, we'll call it 220. Call it 220 stop loss. And let's see if this thing can keep pushing down. But now in really, really good shape, right? Like we talked about, we want that insurance for that low of day move. We got that, right? Now we're protecting entry. Excuse me. I'm actually going to take a little bit more off here at this 235 if I can get it. Stop loss still 220. And let's see if this thing can break. We're in good shape here, guys. In good shape. Maybe should have taken off a bit more off at that 235, but that's okay. We still can have a chance to get back there. When things move fast, sometimes you miss it. Again, right? Like I'm not to say I'm trading poorly or anything like that, or my analysis is incorrect. But like everything's just a little bit slower here today, right? Like I'm just a little bit slower on my entry, a little bit slower on my analysis, a little bit slower on my take profit, right? Like all these little things. So it just stacks up. That's why I'm happy to be trading smaller size here today. Taking off a little bit more here, right? It's going to close it at 232. We'll call, not that many. And okay, right? So closing a little bit more off here, right? At 232. Well done, everybody. And let's see if this thing can now keep breaking down. Stop loss on my remainder. I'm just going to keep it at that 220. I'm going to give this a little bit of a buffer because it is a bit bouncy, but I've taken off about half of my position here and pretty happy to see if I can now let this thing run and really break down. But hey, guys, fantastic start to 2023. Fantastic patience. We had to really wait for that trade, but definitely worth it, right? And now we're doing pretty well. Should be up that 10%. So no reason to give this back, right? No reason to put yourself in a bad situation. Pretty much top ticked that entry. So now let's see if we can get some good luck and a bit of follow through, but hopefully you're now risk free. Please do not let this green trade turn into a red trade. And yeah, guys, welcome to 2023. Let's go. I want to understand all the logic behind this trade, what we did, why we did, how we did. It all makes sense to you guys? Now let's see if we get that low of daybreak, right, with some volume, and then maybe take some more off like 250-ish. So I'm going to take off, yeah, a little bit more around that 250 area if I can get it. Man, every time. We're getting close to that, right? So I'm going to try to take some off here in a second. That spread is the only thing that's giving me a little bit of pause, right? It's a bit bigger than I'd like to see at moments. Like as we're hit 250, right? We've got a 7-cent spread at the moment. More than I'd like to see. Maybe tells me that there maybe isn't as much liquidity in these as I'd expect. Right, like it's inconsistent. We're seeing, 3 cents, 5 cents, 7 cents, 2 cents. So that's bothering me just a little bit. The thing though, right, with stocks is they can continue to sell off on thinning liquidity. 250, guys. There we go. Locked in a little bit more. Stop loss. Now on my remainder, I'm going to push it up and just be a little bit more aggressive protecting. So we'll call it stop loss now like 235. We'll call it 235 stop loss on my remainder. And let's see if this thing can keep breaking down. But textbook trade to start the year, guys. Absolute textbook trade. Congratulations to everyone who caught it. Let's go, man. I missed this job, guys. I missed it. Oh, I love this. Right, we had a couple things that tried to trick us into not following our rules. What was this? Just a breakdown that we like to play, Wishbone. If you want to come up with a trendy name for it, I'm very happy. No, Colin, I think what you did is totally fine, man. You had yourself a great winner. I got no issues with what you did there. Right, we were just trying to catch up with your percentage. Let's go, Jesus. Let's go. So my next take profit, I'm gonna start taking off pretty small chunks here. Right, so I've closed off about oh, I don't know, four-fifths of my position, original position, give or take. And so I've got like divisible by 10 contracts left. So I'm just going to keep taking off like 10 contracts now every, I don't know, 10%, something like that. So as we creep up towards now this 265, I'm going to take a little bit more off. Right? Take off about a quarter of what I have. Right? 265 next target. Okay, 2 cents, 1 cent away. Okay, there we go, guys. Locked in a little bit more at that 265. Stop loss now on my remainder is going to be 245. We keep it approximately 10% behind my last take profit. And let's see if we can keep getting some further follow through. But I got no reason to be hyper aggressive here now. I got no reason to do anything else, right? Fantastic start to the day. Fantastic start to the year. And let's just see how big this thing can go. But yeah, no reason to do anything else here besides sit and wait for it to be just keep kind of panning out for us. So congratulations, everyone. Welcome back to 2023. Welcome to the new members. And yeah, let's see if we can keep building some nice momentum. Obviously, right, my objective here today, not to trade full port, right? Even though this was a good win, still a half size position, right? I'm not cheating myself by my rules, not rushing into something. I'm not doing any of that kind of stuff. So slow and steady here, guys, right? Consistent process equals consistently profitable. And I'm going to follow my rules always and try to put myself in good situations, right? In at 213, now 273 on the ask. So we've done pretty gosh darn well. Yeah, so all it is my entry target. I want to see when I get that inside bar here, I'm looking to enter on the fake out above that inside bar. So price action, all this price action here, right? This in yellow, right? Just telling me that price action is trending here to the downside. So then I get inside bar, tells me consolidation, right? People are catching their breath, but red inside bar pointing to the downside kind of tells me that bears are still in control. So what my thesis becomes then is I want to see weak bulls get taken out, and then that's my entry trigger. So have a really strong trend here established, right? Okay, catch your breath, consolidate. Here's weak bulls, and we know they're weak because they're pulling it on thin volume. So our objective is to then get an entry above that inside bar high to try to get the best risk reward possible for that trade. So that's why that 144.12 was the entry target, because it was above that inside bar high. Does that make sense, Brad? All right, guys, I'm gonna take a little bit more off here in a sec, right at 285. I mean, what a beast. Oh, I love this job. Okay, so took up a little bit more here at 285. Stop loss now, my remainder. We'll call it like 260. And let's see if we can keep breaking down. But and this is pretty much a textbook A+, perfect breakdown scenario that we want, right? Behaved exactly how we wanted. We had a little bit of a choppiness at that low of day, right? But we had that insurance, so we were able to stomach it, no problems. And then, right, really nice breakdown on volume, risk-free for us, right? Because we're protecting entry, and now we can break down. So where'd you no worries, Brad, that happens. Where'd you what was your rule for managing your stop loss? Let's go, Jesus. Let's go. Like, so generally, right, when I'm managing my stop loss, when I'm in a trade, I'm keeping it give or take about 10% behind my previous take profit. It's give or take where I try to put my like push up my stop loss to. So that's what I mean by rule, right? Like if you're visually picking on where to protect your entry, then your results are going to be a little bit sporadic, right? Or they're going to be a little bit random. Now, if you're consistently pushing your stop loss to be 10% behind the price, you'll notice, right? If it consistently keeps hitting your 10% and then breaks down, you'll be able to see the follow through, right? Or you'll be able to see the changes that you have to make to keep getting the further follow through. Yeah, no worries, Callum. I hear that. The 380 definitely a big spot, but we had the exact same rejection here, the exact same trend, right, on NVIDIA. So it was like we talked about a little bit, right? How NVIDIA was setting up. They were setting up to be the nicest looking setups. So fake out, reversal on volume. There's enough information there to tell me trend. I get the hesitation. Like the reason I think if I was trading full size, probably would have had the same hesitation as you, because I've been thinking about my P&L too much, worst case scenario too much. So just getting back in the swing of things, go smaller size, trade on sim, do whatever you need to do to kind of get yourself back in rhythm. But like guys, those of you who've been with us, been with DTR for more than a month, right? You know that this is not like unnormal, right? So it's just all about putting ourselves in good situations where we can be profitable. That's it. And when we follow our rules, when we follow our process, we get killer outcomes like this. Fuck, we're gonna hit 50% here. That's a sweet way to start the year off. Let's go, Silverio. Congratulations. What was your play on Tesla? Nice, Sean. Great start to the year, man. Hope you had a nice break. But stoked you crushed it. Well done, everybody. Right, stop loss still 260 on this. Still stop loss 260. We'll see how far this thing can go. But I mean, I've got only a small chunk left. So still in this year, right? See if this thing can break down. Yeah, I figured it wasn't the Waffen SS. But no, good. Good to hear that you're crushing it, Silverio. Welcome back. Congratulations on a fantastic start. And love that, right? You take your own ideas, you trade your own thing, and you crushed it too. Like, that's fantastic. I'm gonna try to keep taking them off on the way up. Eventually, like I'm gonna take some off here at $3, by the way, guys. Eventually, like I think people call them like payday shares, right? In theory, I can maybe leave it towards my stop loss, but I'm not super enthused by that. I'm always of the preference that I'd rather take profit on the way up. I just think it's a better habit to get into. But it's one of those things, right? There's no like perfect technique here. Nice, Joe. I like you trading on Sim. I think that's a good idea, right? We're gonna have a lot of trades like this, guys, right? It's the first of many from this year. Don't feel like you missed it, right? It's better that we get the most out of ourselves, get ourselves feeling our best, and then we'll get the most out of the market. Can you elaborate on that a little bit more? So taking some off here at $3, guys, and I've got like 5 contracts left here. So at this point, right, I'm gonna be a little bit more relaxed, we'll call it, in my take profit, right? Stop loss here, we'll still call it like, call it 275, and I mean, no reason to do anything too crazy here now. Man, best job in the world, guys. Best job in the world. So I might get stopped out here. There we go. I'm all out. But guys, that was sick, right? We hit 50% on that trade. Okay, I see what you mean. Yeah. So yeah, like for me, right, I'm always gonna try to take off every 10% down, or as much as I can. Right. And so that's generally gonna be my objective, or what my my bias is. So yeah, I'm trying to take off every 10%, and then eventually I'll get left with I don't know, 10% of my original position or less. And yeah, those will be maybe more like where I don't have a plan for them, if that makes sense. But generally it's take profit every 10%, push stop loss to be 10% behind previous take profit. And that's kind of how I manage it. There's a few exceptions here and there, but that would be how I do it. If you do feel that anxiety, then maybe there's value in taking more off on your first chunk, locking in a bigger percentage on that, say, first 10%, and then finding that sweet spot for how you want to manage it intraday. But guys, I mean, incredible trade. Well done. Good job protecting entry. I got nothing negative to say about that result. That was an epic start to the new year. Congratulations, everybody. And honestly, good example here of why protecting entry is so important, right? Stop loss was 275, and now we're 255 on the ask, just like that, right? So it's always, when I'm protecting entry, right, my stop loss is already like hard stop loss. It's inside, right? It's, you know, I can see where my visual line is, where I'm taking profit, and I'm just never allowing myself to give back those gains, right? Or never past my point of no return. So any questions about this NVIDIA trade here today, guys? Happy to go over those here now. But great start to the week. Yeah, absolutely. So setup here, right, was basically a BB fake out. So we wanted to see a fake out higher, right, make a higher high, right, and then pull back down towards sort of the lows. So BBs as Bollinger Bands, yeah, correct. So we saw a failed breakout through the Bollinger Bands, right, and then a reversal. Okay, trend price action kept trending, and then we got confirmation here, right, of increasing outlier volume, and then a relatively strong candle, kind of looked like that normal body bearish candle. So we got, you know, good sign of momentum as we made low of day, right, that we have a continuation for that narrative, right? 10 min inside bar or 10 min breakdown as well, right? So a lot of things that kind of synced up and told us that same story. So setup trigger, right, is that BB fake out, and then breakdown. We've got that indication here that we have that trending price action. Confirmation, right, was a whole bunch of different candles here in this context, right? Confirmation could have been this 955 candle, right? And then when it wasn't that 955 candle, when we didn't get an entry on that 955 candle, it became the next candle with that increasing outlier volume, right? So we got that next sign of that building momentum. So our confirmation in this context, right, is to see the trend, right? Establish what the trend is, and then make sure that we continue to have that momentum for trend continuation lower. The way that we judge that momentum is basically just the volume and the quality of the candle shape, right? So strong candle shape plus strong volume tells us that momentum, or at least for my strategy, right, tells me that momentum is building in a stock and that I should have that continuation follow through. So then, right, okay, here's my confirmation. Now I'm looking to satisfy my execution requirements. So for me, right, my target here in this context was previous low of day, right? So here's the setup, right? Bearish BB fake out, has room to fill gap, and then towards the lows. So we filled the gap, right? So now we're targeting previous low of day, which is that 142.35 area, give or take. And so we wanted to make sure that on any entry target, we were getting at least 2-to-1 risk reward or better. Now, where this becomes maybe a little bit tricky and where it'll take maybe a bit of time to get used to is once I get that confirmation, I know where my stop loss needs to be, right? So stop loss needs to be high of my confirmation candle if I'm going short, which in this context was that 144.50. So I know where my stop loss needs to be. I know where my profit target needs to be. So I'm able to then deduce a give or take what my entry price needs to be, right? So if I'm willing to risk, if my profit target is, say, right, from close, right, say it's $1 away, I want to make sure that my stop loss is less than 50 cents. Then, right, on that next candle, we get an inside bar. So inside bar tells us consolidation, right? Tells us that, you know, like one side is given up in a trade. So we've got trend, we've got consolidation where one side is given up. So we're looking to continue with that trend on our entry. So here's your confirmation candle, right? Here we've now pulled back into a zone where we're like fulfilling all of our execution requirements, where we're risking now 30 cents, right, to make $1.90 or make $1.70. All of a sudden we're getting like 6-to-1 risk reward. So we have a very, very justifiable trade to take. So then look to enter on a pullback, right? Look to enter in, like I always like to say, our objective is to buy low, sell high, right? So we're selling high here by entering on the fake out, creating that, ultimate risk reward ratio for ourselves, and then pushing price action lower. So in summary, right, setup is the Bollinger Band fake out, which is written down here. Confirmation is that, full body, strong candle, strong volume, and it could have been either this 1010 or it could have been that 955. And then we finally got the execution requirements to sync up when we got that inside bar to justify risking 30 cents to make $1.90. Hopefully that makes a little bit of sense.